I thought I would show you what I bought in Salzburg in the bookshops that I went to, because I ended up buying 4 books and I think they're all very interesting. So let's get started, shall we? The first book I picked up immediately struck me because the cover was just really beautiful. I hope you can see how it reflects in the light. And on the cover it also said that it's a stirring tale of female empowerment, and I always like to read those stories and they always intrigue me. So that's basically why I picked it up. I probably didn't even read the excerpt on the back, or I just skimmed it really quickly. I just know that it's partly set in 1840, so in the Victorian age if I'm not mistaken, and that it's about 4 women who will face hardships and overcome them, and in turn learn more about themselves and what makes them women and what makes them special. I think this is also a story about abortions and women's right to their bodies, and if that doesn't poignantly sum up what's happening in some parts of this world even today, I don't know what is. So I'm very, very interested and I'm very intrigued to read this one. The next book I picked up is probably known by many because it's Beloved by Toni Morrison, which is a great classic. I think many people have actually read this in school. I haven't read it in school, and so I finally got to pick it up now. This has been on my reading list for ages now, and it's basically about slavery, and it takes place in the mid-1800s, where slavery slowly comes to an end in America. As far as I understood, the Beloved refers to a tombstone of the daughter of the main protagonist in this story. I'm just really excited to read this one because I think it's going to be a very hard read, but I think it's going to be one that teaches you a lot about how Black people or people of color are still treated to this day, and how close the 1800s actually were to our time now. And I think it's very important to educate yourself further, and that's what I'm trying to do. The next book I picked up is quite a curious one. If I hadn't turned it around and read the back, I wouldn't have ever picked it up, but as I was reading it I was like, that story seems awfully familiar to me, because it says that it's about a young man who wakes up one morning and is transformed into a cockroach. I was like, this reminds me a lot of Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. It's actually one I wasn't the biggest fan of, but all the same I was very intrigued when I read this. I was like, this has to be a tribute or something. And what do you know, as soon as I opened it, it said right there that it's a tribute to Kafka's work, and that's basically why I picked it up. I'm really intrigued to see what the author Ian McEwan did with the premise. I'm really interested to see how this one compares to the Kafka one. And last but not least is Electra by Jennifer Saint. I've been wanting to buy this since I don't even know when. I have seen this in so many videos on YouTube. I have seen it all over Goodreads. I've seen it everywhere. And the cover is also just stunning. And I'm just really interested to see how this one is, because obviously I know the story of Agamemnon, but I haven't heard the story of Electra. And on the back it says, "Behind all gods and heroes, there are great women." And I think it's obviously so interesting to read a female perspective of all those Greek myths that have only been translated by men so far. So that's everything. Those are the 4 books I bought. I actually made the mistake of ordering books secondhand before I went on my holiday. So I have a few more books waiting at home, which usually isn't my style. Usually I would wait until I finished all of those till I buy new ones. But I mean, what can I complain about? It's more books, it's great. I'm very excited to read those, and also to read those that wait at home for me.